So you've probably seen this ad, 28-day calisthenics challenge changes your life. Instagram pushes it everywhere. Supposedly only 15 minutes a day can change your life. But is it legit? Today I'm going to take you through the 28-day Better Me challenge and how we could actually make it work. And spoiler alert, it's not as good as you think. So here's the basic pitch. This is a 28-day, no equipment, and simple movements challenge. Each workout takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and the app promises visible changes by the end of the month. They say it's free. However, in order to access Better Me, you need a subscription to the account, and then when you get in there to the 28-day challenge, it actually costs, so it's $15 to do it. On the surface, it sounds great, but let's take a look at it and look a little bit closer to see what you're actually getting. Looking through the 28 exercises they have, we don't really get an idea of what these exercises really are, and they don't really incorporate any rest days. So I'm assuming they want you to do this 28 days in a row, which and they have on their newbie, just isn't like a realistic expectation to have for people. But it looks like we start with like a core exercise. It's 60 minutes. You do need a chair. Pretty simple warm up. All right, so a circuit, so butt kicks, crossover toe touch, burpee walks, step up with high knees, squat with kickback, single leg deadlift, some planks, and then a cool down, 7 exercises. And so just a series of simple movements, a series of high intensity movements, essentially. The next day, legs. Same exact warm-up, okay. Lunges, bridges. Cool, and I'm not seeing any ability to change anything. Was this the same cool down as the first one? Looks like same exact cool down, so that's cool. Then we have a chest workout. Let's just kind of look at this one real quick. Same warm-up. Cool. Side planks. So how's that? How's that chest? Oh, chest and back. Okay. Okay. So we're supposed to be doing this with there's like no push-ups in this at all. Cool. That's great. More core. I'm going to skip to like the medium related stuff. So let's go. So there's all that stuff again. Okay. This is very ambiguous. Like I'm not getting like today's chest day and it's every week, and here's core day and it's every week. Muscle builders for your legs, deep burn workout, full body work, sculpt your arms, whole body workout, active leg training, inflamed arm workouts. So we go from newbie to medium to advanced. That's all we get? Okay. So wait, from this first chest and back workout, let's see what the advanced version of it is. Upper body set. Let's see. The same warm up. I love that. The same warm up. Walkout planks. Narrow grip push-ups. Okay, so we actually have push-ups. United biceps. So this is like a stretch. More push-ups. Planks. Same exact cool down. So I wonder if I click on one of these, can I change it? Can I change? So narrow grip push-ups. No, so there's no ability to change exercise if you haven't progressed as far as they want you to, or if you're beyond where they want you to be. So honestly, this should be quite easy to beat. Okay. I think we can safely say though that there's a lot of core and just movement related stuff because the audience this is targeted to is people that want to lose weight. So, there may not be as much of movements that target specific body parts, but more of a high heart rate and trying to get more calories to burn during these exercises. With that being said, with those different days, we can still get a lot of work to different body parts. So I don't need you to be doing planks every single day. And then they also don't have any workouts included in there that say rest day or active recovery day or hey, take a break today. That isn't something that I really like, especially arguably the most crucial part of exercise is getting your rest so you can continue to perform at a high rate. Why doesn't this work? I think is a valid question. And the reason why is because I think a lot of people underestimate how quickly the body adapts to things. So you get stronger or you don't get strong enough for a lot of these exercises and there's no progression. There's no progressive overload added to this at all. It's saying, hey, do 20 seconds of this and that's it. There's not an amount of reps. There's also no ability to change how difficult the exercise is, and that tends to be an issue because we need harder or easier variations over time. And then it looks like we're also not doing these on a weekly basis. So if I've done push-ups week 1 and then it's been 2 weeks since I've done push-ups again, probably haven't built much of a foundation of doing push-ups over that time. And as I kind of talked about, there's also no recovery time or guidance into this at all, and there is no variation in warm-up. The way that you warm up for a full body movement or a leg specific day or a core specific day or an upper body specific day is going to be very different. Same thing with the cool down, same exact cool down every day. Are they good stretches and good warm-up tactics? Yes, but are they designed to warm up those specific functions that you're going to be using through those days and joints? No. What this really comes down to is this is designed very well from a marketing perspective. The real training plan is kind of hidden under these paywalls where first you need a subscription. They say it's free. And then you go into this next level of this where it says, hey, the challenge is actually $15. So you're not actually getting any of this for free. And they show you all these pictures of people who've changed their life in 28 days. They're not being exactly truthful with how that works. The next thing to address is that some people will argue that calisthenics doesn't work for something like this. You know, if you've been over social media at all, you know that's completely untrue. A lot of people have very insane physiques from just doing calisthenics. In reality, the issue with this is the programming itself. It's not efficient. So I've talked a lot about how this program needs a lot of fixes to make it better. I did say that I would make this better. The simplicity of how we make this better is actually quite simple. First, for the first 2 weeks, we really build a solid foundational base. If this is targeted for newbies, we really don't have much of a standard as far as doing push-ups, doing planks, doing squats, and then also building in this variety of a foundation to move us to more difficult exercises, or if we're already there, to move on to more advanced exercises. Then, into that week 3 and 4, we can move into some of those more advanced versions. So we have push-ups, we can go into archer push-ups, or we can do close grip push-ups, diamond push-ups, stuff of that nature. And then same thing with the core and arm-related stuff, where if we're doing planks, we can do some sort of movement variation plank, or we're doing cliffhanger planks. And my idea of this 28-day calisthenics program is actually demanding some change. So actually implementing some progressive overload. And what we would know is mechanical overload as well, where we're taking harder movements that are harder on the body to easier movements, so we have a bit of a regression. And the beauty of the programming that I'm showing you right here is that you are also able to format this as you see fit. So if we're a little bit at the newbie progression for a little bit longer of a period of time, we can still do that for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then you can move on to a more advanced version of it. Or if we're already at the advanced version, we can continue to work at that level and even progress even further beyond that. So that brings us to this point. Is the 28-day Better Me Challenge really life-changing? The answer is no, it's not life-changing. It'll get you moving, which is great, but it isn't the magic pill that they tell you it is from the ad. But if you want a real 28-day challenge, one that actually is challenging, uses progression, and has built-in rest days, I'll be putting mine on here for free. So hit the subscribe button, drop a comment if you want the full program, and let's do this the right way. So here's just a basic regression and progression for each of the main exercises. The easiest version of the push-up would be an elevated version, then to a knee push-up. The standard would be a regular push-up, and for the more advanced version, we would do a diamond push-up or also a decline push-up. For sit-ups, we'd start with a crunch, getting your shoulders off the mat. then a half sit-up, getting the shoulders and upper back off the mat. We would then go into a full sit-up, controlling the movement nice and slow. Then lastly, into something like a V-up. For squatting, the easiest variation would be a wall sit that you would hold for time. We then go into a box squat. The higher the elevation, the easier the movement would be. Then we'd go into a regular squat, letting the knees break 90 degrees. Lastly, we could do a jump squat, or possibly a harder variation would be a pistol squat. For planks, an easier variation would be doing planks on your knees or on an elevated surface. We'd then work into a regular style plank, holding for time. We could do a dynamic movement, doing planks in a push-up position and touching the shoulders. Then lastly, we can do something like a cliffhanger plank.